I'm Kat Joyce, and this is Nathan Curry.
Hello.
And we're the co-artistic directors of Tangled Feet.
Tangled Feet is an ensemble theatre company. There's a group of us that make work together and run the company together, and all of the work tends to be devised, starting from an original idea, original concept, a set of themes, a set of questions, and then we make work in a variety of settings. So inside theatres, outside in the street, in found spaces, in community spaces, and we're really led by the theme of the work or the questions the work is asking about where it goes, where it should be best placed. And alongside the making of the theatre, we also have quite a large participation offer where we work with young people through making work. We run a dramatherapy service. We run a talent development sort of mentoring scheme sort of for young and emerging ensembles that are sort of coming out. And everything tries to go through the work we do, whether it's through workshops or performance. We're trying to articulate, I guess, who we are as a company through what we're putting out there. And we have now been going for 16 years.
I suppose every project we make, we think a lot in the inception about how exactly it's going to meet its audience and the circumstances and the framing of that and the relationship, and that's often very nuanced and very kind of integral to what the work is and how it's shaped. And so, for example, our work for children and their parents will be very much shaped around how those young people are going to and their parents are going to simultaneously experience the work. But I don't think we don't have like a target demographic. I think what's quite nice about the work we get to do is that it's very accessible, and particularly our outdoor offer, it's designed so that anybody, whatever their walk of life, can come across it and enter into it. And I'd been to Brazil for 3 months, and while I was sitting on beaches and going around carnival and whatnot, I was kind of thinking, could you make a show that you could take anywhere, like literally anywhere, without any of the architecture of theatre? You could just carry it in a suitcase, unpack it on this island or on this beach or in this bus station, and make something. And I kind of came home with that provocation, and that met some other ideas that had been brewing, and that was when we made Home, which was our first outdoor piece of work.
Yeah.
And that was a lovely show to make, and we made it over 2 years, really.
Yeah.
Trying out lots of ideas in lots and lots of different ways in lots and lots of different spaces. But it was always a show which had performers who spoke lots of different first languages and who came in carrying their little tent and their suitcase. And it went round, we R&D'd it in schools and in nightclubs and in all sorts of weird places, and then it turned into we got a grant to turn it into a proper show.
Kat and I sit here representing a whole group of people, and the power of that structure is that you're supported so much by having those people with you, but then the sharing of that power is you've got to be able to feed back. We're developing this partnership. Kat and I think we should make work here. Let's talk about it as a group. So and we're still trying to do that as much as possible, which is what is the work we, as 9 people ultimately who run the company.
We are very, very much an artist-led ensemble, and our finance manager is also one of our main actors, and our participation manager is one of our main actors, and all of those people have a very, very strong artistic sense and really are really valuable leaders around the table with both their hats on. So I think we have a very complementary set of skills which together make a very rich palette. So there's things that Nathan is brilliant at that I'm crap at, and I probably wouldn't say vice versa, but we just have our strengths.
And that's the reason why I find it very easy to work with Kat artistically, but because Kat has such a rigorous brain and a way of attacking a strategic or a specific problem that I know it's been thought about quite a lot. So when Kat probably says, I don't think this is right, I know it's been analysed. It's not just off the cuff, it's been thought about, which I think, and that's been from the very start, and I think that's really helpful because I know there's been a process there, so probably that process means that we're going in the right or wrong direction. When it has been difficult, there's been difficult moments, the thing that's helped it or alleviated it is knowing where we are in each other's process,
Yeah.
and going, well, what's your process now?
Yeah.
Ah, right, because I'm trying to do this over here.
Yeah.
And actually, it's like that knowing, not necessarily knowing where we're headed, but knowing where we are in that different process.
I know it takes a long time to
It took
like
years.
learn to do and learn how to like tease out the knots. It was our first like big spectacle show, and it was just so huge. We'd kind of scaled up so fast, didn't we? We went from home in 2009, where we had 7 actors holding tents, to making 1 million 2013. 4 years later, we had a crew of 30, 125 performers, this massive scaffold, 20 grand of pyrotechnics, and it was all just like, you know, that it was just such a big machine that we cranked the handles, and then the final moments just were so everything came together, and the effect, which obviously with something of that scale you don't see until the first show. There's no dress run, there's no real tech, you don't get to tech the pyro, you know, all of that. So it all goes off and it lands. So it's like, there we are, that was amazing. Yes, it was worth all those months of really hard work. So yeah, probably that.